Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. It is Thursday, May 7th. Filming this early on Wednesday, May 6th. It's disgusting outside. Hopefully, the rain and chilly weather today didn't affect you getting outside yesterday and hitting that long workout with a lot of running outside. Girls inspired. Hopefully, you enjoyed that one. Today, as we do most times at the Cove, or at least during the Open, we do whenever we've got a lot of volume in our training, or we're preparing for the Open workout on Friday. Whenever it's that time of year, usually Daniel hits us with a long EMOM style workout on Thursdays, and that's no different today. That's what we have for you at home. Gonna need a jump rope today if you have it. Barbell, dumbbells, either option will work just fine, and we'll talk through each one of them for this EMOM style workout today, and you can kind of choose what you want to do based on what you have. So we're going to break down the workout here. We'll talk tips and pacing, and then we'll try to get a little bit of stretching in before we start this MetCon. I'm going to be giving instructions on how I want you guys stretching here after we do a little warm up and before we jump into the MetCon. Because I'm glad that you guys have been enjoying the cuteness of my dog jumping in and trying to stretch with us or warm up with us over the past couple of weeks. And here he is right now in the living room. I don't know if you can see him. He looks tired right now, but he's lurking. So I get on the floor in there, I start stretching. He's on me like white on rice. So I'm going to do my best to instruct without getting my face chewed off. So let's talk about the workout. EMOM style workout today does not have a name. We're just going for 24 minutes. There's going to be 4 separate stations. You have a minute to complete all of the required reps of that movement at each station. You have 1 minute to do each. And then in the remaining time that you have in that minute, we're just going to rest before we hit the top of that next minute and move into the next station. There is no rest period during this workout. Thanks, Daniel. So we're basically going to go through this 6 rounds, 4 separate stations all the way through. So the only breaks you're going to get is just rest that you bank for yourself in each minute. 24-minute EMOM. First station starts with 70 double unders or 100 single unders, depending on what your fitness level is with the jump rope today. Second station is going to be 8 deadlifts and then 8 shoulder to overhead. So any way you want to get that barbell, dumbbells, odd object, whatever you have, from that front rack position up into a locked out position is good with me. Strict press if you're looking for a pump and got some lighter weights. Push jerk, push press, either way is totally fine. Third station, 20 jumping air squats, which is exactly as it sounds. You air squat into a jump where our feet get up off the ground and the hip gets open. I'm not asking you to jump up and touch the ceiling in your basement or your garage, wherever you're doing this. Just make sure that we get the hip open and the feet off the ground. And then finishing the fourth station with 20 push-ups for the guys, 15 for the ladies. Please feel free to scale those as you need to. If that means a hand release push-up, push-ups from your knees. If you have the ability to, if you have a pull-up rig at home and you want to attach a band and use the band as a little bit of a slingshot to punch you back up into that locked out position. Again, any scaling method will be fine to me depending on what you have at home. So that's what we have, those 4 stations. We'll talk pacing, tips, and then we'll dive into the warm-up. All right, so tips and pacing. First station, 70 double unders or 100 single unders. I'm looking for those to be done in maybe a set or 2 every round, but this is probably going to be the most important of the 4 stations to really bring your breathing back down, especially as we get into the later rounds of this workout. This station is positioned right before probably the second station, which is your deadlifts, your shoulder to overhead, which is probably going to be the station that is the hardest to breathe in and just the most taxing overall. So double unders and single unders or single unders. I want you to consistently try to keep to maybe a set or 2 every time you pick that thing up, because time is going to go quickly there. Second minute, 8 deadlifts and 8 shoulder to overhead. I don't care if you have dumbbells or a barbell for this. There are no weights written today, so it's up to your discretion and what you have at home. I would not recommend, if you're using a barbell today, even folks that usually go the open track at the Cove, if you're regularly an open athlete with weights or standards, I wouldn't recommend going any heavier than maybe like a 155, 105 today. So anybody that falls in a bucket underneath that, like a performance athlete, a fitness athlete, please feel free to scale appropriately from there. Again, that's just on the high end of weights that I would recommend, of a 155, 105, just like DT weight for those that are usually on the open track at the gym. If you're using dumbbells today, we are using 2 of them. You're going to bring your feet in kind of shoulder width apart. You're going to hinge forward to let one head of the dumbbell touch the floor, and then you're going to stand all the way back up to where your hip gets open. No matter whether you're using a barbell or 2 dumbbells today, you can be a badass and try to do this whole thing unbroken. You might be able to, in the first round or 2, but I bet it gets a little bit more difficult as the workout goes on. So best place to rest here. And maybe some of you at home know this answer already, or what I'm going to say if you've been CrossFitting long enough now. 8 deadlifts, 8 shoulder to overhead. Best place to rest after that 7th deadlift. Okay. So bang out those 7 deadlifts, and if you're going to rest, we rest before the 8th, so that the next time we deadlift that barbell up, there's rep number 8. We hit a hang clean into that front rack position, and then we start ripping that shoulder to overhead. I would like to see that shoulder to overhead be done unbroken. Just get pissed off, be a bulldog, and go hit all 8. If you're going to rest anywhere after 7 deadlifts. Third station, jumping air squats. Bring your breath back down from station number 2. Get in a rhythm and try to ride it. Fourth station, push-ups. Probably where we're going to start failing early. And everybody's going to be a little bit different on how they want to split these reps up. I'm not going to say, just like we did for the deadlifts and the shoulder to overhead, where you must rest after the 7th rep, or, I'm not requiring you to hit a certain number or asking you to hit a certain number of reps here, because everybody's going to be totally different. So chip away with the push-ups early on. I wouldn't recommend hitting all 20 or 15 unbroken on the first go around and killing yourself in the first go around, because we are going to do this 6 times. It's a total of 120 push-ups for the guys, which I guess comes out to 90 push-ups for the girls at the end of this thing. So don't bite off more than you can chew in the first go around. You've got a full minute to do them. Just chip away right from the get-go, so we've got our breath back underneath of us when we hit the rope again. So those are some tips. Follow them, don't follow them. I'm just telling you what I would do. So now we're going to hit the warm-up. All right, now for the warm-up, you can either set this up on a timer on your phone, your watch, whatever. But I want you to set a clock either for 6 minutes, just a constant running clock for 6 minutes, or 2 separate 3-minute AMRAPs, because that's what we're going to do. Number of reps is going to stay the exact same, in the fashion of how we're going to flow through this for these 2 3-minute AMRAPs is going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be down the ladder, up the ladder, same number of reps. The only thing that's going to change for each AMRAP is the movement that you're going to do. So for the first AMRAP, the first 3-minute AMRAP, we are going in reps of 30, 20, and 10. Okay, jump ropes won't be involved. We are going to jump a little bit though. The reps of 30, it's just going to be jumps in place. Okay, so get off the ground, just like you're jumping rope, but we don't have it in our hands. 30 reps there. From there, we go into 20 air squats, and then we finish with 10 burpees. Okay, so 30 jumps in place, 20 air squats, 10 burpees. Okay, now hopefully in that 3-minute period, you'll be able to get done all of those reps. And I don't think you should have any problem doing so. So if the clock is still running after you hit your 10th burpee, we are climbing right back up the ladder. So after that 10th burpee, we go into 20 air squats, 30 jumps in place. If you finish those 30 jumps in place again, 20 air squats, 10 burpees. so on and so forth, just down and up the ladder for 3 minutes. When that 3 minute mark hits, or if you've got a constant, running clock of 6 minutes, just at that halfway point, we are going to change it. Okay, we are still going reps of 30, 20, and 10, but on this go around for the last 3 minutes of the warm up, 30 will be shoulder taps. You'll just be in the top of a high plank position, top of a push-up. You'll take right hand to left shoulder, back down. Left hand to right shoulder, back down. So every time you touch a shoulder with your hand, that's 1 rep. So it'll be a total of 15 reps on each side. 30 shoulder taps from that high plank position. From there, 20 will be lunges. Okay, just stepping forward, stepping back, alternating legs, total of 20, 10 each leg. Reps of 10. If you have a light dumbbell or a light plate, it's just going to be a bicep curl into a press overhead. So if you have a light dumbbell, you're going to be holding one head of the dumbbell in each hand. You're going to start with that dumbbell just down in front of your waist. You're going to bicep curl up to that front rack position, press overhead, back to the front rack, and then back down. That's 1 rep every time you get to the bottom. So we will do 10 of those. Same thing if you have a plate at home. Same thing. Curl, press. After those 10 reps, put it down. We climb the ladder. 20 lunges, 30 shoulder taps. 20 lunges, 10 curl and press with your dumbbell or your plate. So we have 6 minutes total, 2 separate 3-minute AMRAPs. I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and write that down. Pause your video, and then go ahead and hit that. I'll even here once I'm editing. I hope. Well, actually, it's after the fact, you dumbass. This should be up on the screen for you whenever I edit this thing down, so that hopefully you can read it and jot down some notes. Next part of the warm-up is going to be some stretching. Again, I've got my little buddy lurking in there, so I'm not even going to attempt to get on the floor. He made his appearance. You got your cuteness. I'm just going to let him sleep. Stretching. First thing that I'm going to ask you to do, just start up in a standing position. I want you to do 5 inchworms. So you're going to start up in that standing position, walk your hands out to the top of a push-up, do a push-up, and then retrace your steps all the way back up to standing. So 5 inchworms with a push-up. After that last inchworm, I want you to press up into a pike position, okay? Basically to where all we're focusing on is driving the palms of your hands into the floor, and you're pedaling your feet back and forth so we can stretch out those calves on the right and the left side. Take as much time as you need to stretch out those calves, pedal them back and forth. Once that is all done, we'll move to the floor. I'll give you a second to go ahead and do that. Next part of the warm-up is going to be spent on the floor. Feel free to start this while I'm talking if you'd like to. We're basically going to do the same sequence on each side 1 time through. It'll be a perfect lunge to start, then into a hamstring stretch on your knee, and then into a pigeon stretch to finish it off. So let's just say we'll start on the right side. You're going to do a perfect lunge to where your forearms, your hands, come on the inside of that right foot, and I really want you to focus on driving that front knee out so we can really stretch into that hip on the right side, that lead leg that's out in front. I want you to spend 20 seconds there, okay, in that perfect lunge on the right side. From there, we're going to shift your hips back into a hamstring stretch on that same right leg. Let's spend about 20 seconds there. And after that hamstring stretch, dig yourself into a pigeon stretch. Maybe spend about 10 seconds in that stretch right down the middle, about 10 seconds over that knee so we stretch into that butt cheek a little more. But again, in that pigeon station, let's spend about 20 seconds there. Complete that on the right side, and then go ahead and complete it on the left, and we'll move on from there. After your pigeon on the left side, we're going to come back up to standing. You're going to spread your legs a little bit wider than shoulder width. And from there, we're going to do 10 side lunges back and forth. okay? So again, big stretch on your groin, the inside part of your hip. I want you to spend or just alternate as we go. Total of 10, so 5 on each side. When those side lunges are done, and you can hit those while I'm still talking here, that's fine. After you complete those 10 side lunges, we're going to go with 10 big arm circles going forward, and then 10 big arm circles going backward. After those 10 arm circles going backwards are done, the only thing left for us to do here, we're going to stretch out your wrists and your forearms. So from a standing position, you're going to take your hand out in front of you, palm up, peel those fingers back so we can really stretch out those wrists and those forearms. So take your time in completing that here to finish things off. Any other warming up that you need to do before we hit a brief recap here and talk about the workout one last time before we begin, please feel free to do that. And that's what we have here. Now it's time for your workout. Long EMOM style workout, typical for a Thursday at the Cove. So 24 minutes, 4 separate stations, means we go a total of 6 times all the way through. First station, 70 double unders or 100 single unders, depending on what your fitness level is. Minute number 2, 8 deadlifts, 8 shoulder to overhead. If you need to rest, you know where to do it. Station number 3, 20 jumping air squats. Get in a rhythm. Fourth station, 20 push-ups for the guys, 15 for the ladies. Split them up before you think you have to, right from the get-go. So there you have it, 24 minutes of work, no rest. Once we are all done and you hit that last station of push-ups, come on back here. We'll do a little cool down and carry on with our Thursday from there. Time for the cool down, and I'm sure that was a sweaty one. So a couple stretches I want you to do on your own before we break here today. First thing, just go ahead and sit down on the ground with your feet out in front of you, butt on the ground, torso nice and upright. I want you to spread your legs as far as you can get them, okay? Once you spread those legs as far as you can get them, I want you to spend about 20 to 30 seconds, just a straight shot right down the middle, lower back, hamstring stretch. I want you to spend the same 20 to 30 seconds reaching over that outstretched left leg or left foot, and then again another 20 to 30 seconds on that right side before we come back to the center and relax. Once you are done the hamstring lower back stretch there, and we've spent some time on each side, I want you to crisscross applesauce your legs, sit Indian style. We'll start with your right leg in front of your left, just crisscross applesauce. From there, you're going to take your head and your chest out in front of your shins as best you can, as low as you can go, walking your hands all the way out, your head, your chest, almost like you're in a child's pose position, or at least trying to get into one while those legs are crisscrossed. So we'll start with the right leg out in front, spend about 30 seconds there, and then we'll switch. We'll go left leg crisscrossed in front of the right, same stretch, about 30 seconds out in front. Once we're done sitting Indian style, crisscross applesauce, however you want to call it, we're going to stretch into the upper body, and then we'll hit your calves. So after you are done that crisscross applesauce stretch, I want you to lay with your chest flat on the ground, so you'll be on your belly. Take your right arm out flat beside you. Kick your left leg around the backside to open up your chest and stretch it out from all that shoulder to overhead, push-ups, pressing that you were doing. We'll spend 30 seconds on the right. We'll spend 30 seconds on the left. Last thing, pike position. Just like we did in the warm-up after those inchworms, I want you to press back up into that same pike position. Focus on your calves. A lot of jumping rope. If you hit double unders today, you did 420 double unders. Congratulations. Single unders, you did 600 single unders. Congratulations. But that's a shit ton of jumping. So make sure that we take our time stretching out your calves. Roll them out later today if you need to. Drink a lot of water too. I know it's Thursday. I know happy hour is probably getting close for some of us whenever we hit this workout today. But just make sure we pound the water before the other stuff later on. So that's what we're going to do for your cool down. Take your time, hit it. I am done for this week. So I'll see you sometime next week. Enjoy the rest of your week and the weekend.